what you came here to do. Now bust it open, let me see you get it. It's going down. It's going down for real.
Ever since Japan defeated China, they were ranked with the same amount of power as Russia. The country soon went to battle. The Japanese did offer to share Manchuria, and they acknowledged the Russians' rights, but only if the Russians stayed away from Korea. Japanese then raised conflict because Russia did not back down. Russia was aiming to form a warm water port in Manchuria, but the Japanese soon launched an attack on the Russians and decided that the war would soon begin in 1905.
Justin, the Battle of Port Arthur.
What's that?
Yes, the Battle of Port Arthur has just commenced. And we have live footage. Michael and I are going to go live.
Michael and I are live at the Battle of Port Arthur. It is February 1904. Japan has launched a surprise attack on Russia's ships. They're anchored in Manchuria. Japan just drove the Russian troops out of Korea and captured Russians of the Pacific Fleet.
You just witnessed live footage from the Battle of Port Arthur. Now to Michael with the sports.
Sure has been a tough week in the world of sports. A lot of hard hits and a lot of disappointed countries. So we're going to take you on an instant replay with Josiah about the Battle of Port Arthur.
I, Josiah, am in control of the Japanese ship.
And I'm going to be acting the part of the Russian ship.
At 10:30 on February 8th, on a Monday, the Port Arthur attack squadron of 10 destroyers encountered patrolling Russian destroyers. The Japanese had set a surprise attack on the Russian ships and had sent a torpedo, like so, and had destroyed the Russian ship, commencing the Russo-Japanese War of 1904.
Take that. Take that. Oh. Take that, son. Torpedo open. Back in the dead. Now I have the torpedo. I got it.
The Japanese Russo War did not only cause the families of Russia harm, but the economy dramatically sunk. The families, businesses, and communities were all devastated. A wave of mass political and social unrest hit Russia's cities. Throughout the vast areas of Russia, many businesses were mad and upset, although they did still get income. Peasant unrest was a new popular thing, and many people were aggravated that they basically could not be supported. Anger within the country struck, and war broke out. Although this was a negative impact, the Constitution of 1906 was formed throughout the war and when it ended.
Japan's reliance on France to support their needs for military goods like ammunition forced the government to call for private and public distributors of food to supply for the military, causing the government to ration the distribution of food. Since Russia lost Port Arthur, it has hurt both Russia's economy and the political stance of the country. Russia's trade has been greatly affected without the ability to export and import goods. Russia's loss of more than 60,000 troops sparked a need and want for a revolution against the Russian government.
You never meant to start a war. I just guess I should have let you in. I never meant to start a war. I just guess I should have let you in.
I'd like to ask you what it was like in the war.
Well, being Japanese has been beneficial.
Really? How so?
We accomplished what we worked for,
And what was that?
stopping the expansion policy.
All right, well, what was your outlook on being victorious?
It felt good to successfully finish what we wanted to do.
That's lovely. Is that all you'd like to tell me today?
Yes.
Thank you for taking your personal time for this interview.
It's crazy. These two countries just cannot seem to stay out of trouble. Mostly Russia. So Russia, you know, Russia, thinking they're big and bad. They're just sent some military troops and equipment across the borders of Ukraine. Yeah. They think that they're gonna just go on in there and take what they think is theirs, but you know.
What they don't know is that they're weaker than they seem.
Yeah. The economy of Russia is taking a turn for the worse. They seem to be falling into recession this year, and that's not going to be good. Japan, it's going through a tough time. They just had the remembrance there to the things that happened in 2011, the 3 disasters. Well, not so natural because of power plant, nuclear to be exact, meltdown. That was pretty terrible. It left 230,000 people without a home.
That's definitely catastrophic. Leave some damage.
Yeah, the earthquake and the tsunami, of course, affected that too. Right now, these two countries are still at a loss, and it seems like it doesn't look like it's going to get any better for Russia. So,
Well, it looks like Japan's on top right now. Japan and Russia came into the war with both power and prestige. Japan defeated China, which made them ranked almost as high as Russia within military power, social power, imperialism. But when it came to the battles, economy, and other living conditions of the people, Japan proved to be on top, starting with the battle at Port Arthur.
no, it's surprising because Japan is such a small country, and they were able to take on a world power like Russia. It's insane that they just overly dominated this war.
Even though they were small, they did have problems like rationing in Japan, and then there were also social disconnects in Russia.
It was a brutal war, and there were a lot of deaths resulted by it.
You know, it's sad that Japan wanted to win so bad that they basically sacrificed everything, just put it all into the military power, but that's what they had to do to come out on top.
And basically, all they were fighting for was land. They wanted Korea, they wanted the islands, they wanted, they just wanted major lands, which made them dominant. They wanted to show dominance, but in the end, Russia proved to be less powerful, even though they owned bigger land.
The Japanese completely took over, even though they were a small country. They used their military actions to battle over the huge Russian government, and that's why they came out in victory over the giant country.
And in the end, it all came down to the Treaty of Portsmouth, which was basically the complete end of the war from 1904 to 1905. And on September of 1905, the treaty was signed, and the U.S. actually aided, and President Theodore Roosevelt assisted in making basically the treaty equal but fair, because Japan did win fair and square. So they did get Korea, they did get parts of islands, big massive islands. They also got parts of China, which they dominated before, which also grew into a bigger empire. So basically, they completely ended the war, but both really were left with thousands dead, many hurt, lots of military was lost, and lots of money was lost.
Team.
No.
Yay. We did a good cheesy
You
like
guys caught me in the act. I, Josiah, am the Japanese ship in the reenactment.
Why are you gonna laugh?
I wasn't. I was thinking.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Guys, I have to work tomorrow at 3.
You have to shut up. That's what you have to do.
So what am I saying? Sorry, you can restart.
Alright, Odin. Are you filming?
Yay!
Alright.
Does that hurt?
Yeah. I ripped my sock.
Oh.
Yes. I ripped my sock after I fall off. And empty chair. God. What?
Did you do that to the poor chair?
Like this? And it took me over. I can't read through the
Wait,
ball
so
again. That was like once.
This caused an up. Oh, okay, I got it. Don't worry.
I feel like I'm